Good morning, and you're very welcome to this morning's live, which is all about something which has become a bit of a buzzword especially over the recent months, and that's biophilic design. Now, basically, what that means is including nature into the design of buildings. So it can be anything from natural materials, the choice of materials that we use, including lots of natural light, different ways to incorporate light throughout a building, and of course plants. And so this morning I'm absolutely delighted that Graham Egan from Plant Up is going to be joining me. They're a plantscaping business and they specialise in biophilic design. So we're going to be chatting about everything from green walls, sedum roofs, and just ways that you can use some of these strategies in your own home. And it has huge benefits. So huge benefits to our well-being, huge benefits to the design of our homes, but also huge benefits to the environment, which is just so important now. So I'm going to invite Graham now to join me. Just wait. So hopefully that connects now. There we go. Graham, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Very good. Perfectly. How are you doing?
Good. Saturday morning.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Giving up your Saturday morning to chat to me. Really appreciate it.
No problem at all.
No, it's great. So I was just explaining, Graham, very briefly in the intro about biophilic design, because there might be some people that are watching now that aren't that familiar with it. So could you just explain it for us?
So basically, it's the love of nature, of being around nature, in our built environments. It was a phrase coined by Edward O. Wilson in the 1980s. I'm sure there's an Irish connection there somewhere. But he understood that we have an innate desire to be around nature, and to incorporate it within the built environment is what really biophilic design is all about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was just reading about it myself, preparing for this, and even though the term has only been coined, in recent times, but it does date back as far as the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So this is something that, the principles are deep rooted into everything and how we live. So it's fascinating, really fascinating.
Everybody loves to be around nature. And I think, even hotel rooms, we pay 23% more for a room with a view.
Wow, yeah, of course.
And it's just huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess like the benefits, I've talked about that with some of the guests that we've had in the past. So like Michael Keane, the neuroscientist, but just the benefits of connecting with nature, even a visual connection with nature, and the de-stressing that can have for people. Like they've done studies where it's been proven to reduce blood pressure, to help focus, help concentration. So huge benefits. And I guess it's something that in commercial buildings, there's been a lot of this, people have cottoned on to it, and a lot, say, with office buildings and things like that. But funnily enough, when it comes to homes, there's a big gap to fill there. There's a lot of catching up to do. So, not as much emphasis, I suppose, when it comes to home design. So lots of room for improvement there.
Well, there's just so much available in corporate world. It's just going to filter its way right way through to our home environments. The WHO have said that the amount of illnesses related to stress in the future is just going to just rocket.
Sure.
So plants have a calming effect. Biophilic design has a calming effect, and it's hugely important.
No, it is, absolutely. And I think we were chatting, Graham. I lived many years ago in New York. I've lived in London, and I was just saying that how spoilt we are here in Ireland. We've so much green space. Most of us are lucky enough to have some kind of outdoor space, but in those big cities, people are scrambling to turn a window box into a tiny little garden and nurturing it and stuff. So just that ability to be able to connect with nature is so important. So no, fascinating. So I guess
you've done lots of different kinds of projects, so lots of different things that you've done. But can you just chat about, say, for homeowners, I guess, ways that they can start to incorporate some of these lovely ideas into their homes?
A plant is a great place to start. It's nature. I mean, we get excited. I still get excited even after all these years to see, an element of new growth on a plant.
Yeah.
Makes us feel happy. And plants have a huge benefit to our homes also for clean air, the sound absorption. And again, it's bringing nature back into your home, into your house, to give you that calming effect. And for years we've noticed that you could be carrying a plant down the street into an office, and somebody will stop you to talk about it. It's just people just love plants, and their effects are just it's a massive improvement in our homes. Again, the clean air, with the most recent pandemic, clean air is hugely important. People that have asthma, any kind of breathing difficulties, plants can clean the air. They take the dirt from the air and provide us with clean air. Hospitals, for example, are refusing flowers now because they take oxygen where plants give back. So hospitals have taken it on board, where they've added more plants, which wasn't the case years ago. So we want to have all these benefits within our homes. Post-op medication in studies have been reduced by 23% in hospitals where plants have been integrated. It's huge. Yeah, it has a massive effect on our living environment.
Yeah, and just such a beautiful way to add.
It's aesthetically pleasing also.
It is. It's gorgeous, and add life to a space, I suppose. I mean, that's essentially what they do, which is really beautiful.
Yeah.
But there's a gorgeous green wall panel behind you. What's that, Graham?
So these are live pictures.
Okay, wow.
So
lovely.
they give another option for somebody who doesn't want to go completely down the green wall route.
Yeah.
They've a built-in tank of water in the frame.
Wow.
They hold water. They don't have to be connected to your water supply. Just put up on your wall, and the capillary action takes the water up the back of the unit. And if you've got real live plants, and there's absolutely no care. Every 4 weeks, a little indicator will pop down just the bottom here,
really?
To tell you that it needs water. So you just fill it up again. So you just enjoy, plug and play.
That's fantastic.
Plug and play for plants.
Wonderful. Do they come in different sizes then, or they?
Loads of different sizes. This is the Live Picture 2. We also have Live Picture Go, which is more domestic. But again, and they can be used indoor or outdoor. And they come in a range of colors as well. And you can personalize them too. You can get them wrapped in different. We recently did a fit out where somebody wanted a metallic gold. So we had it wrapped in metallic gold.
Fabulous.
Spectacular. Yeah.
And can you choose the plants, or are they sort of a standard mix, or how does it
No.
work?
We do all the planting here ourselves. So you can actually do it yourself if you're that way inclined, which is kind of a bit exciting. And if you want to be fully involved, and we can supply the plants, and we can help you, and you can plant them yourself. But inevitably, it's better to have it planted and installed by ourselves.
Okay.
But they're a great solution. They don't take up much space. If you're tight on floor space, again, you get your plants up on the wall, and they're at your eye level. So it has a massive impact on a room. Fabulous. Straight away. Yeah, really fantastic product.
And I love the fact that they tell you when they need to be watered. So because I know that's something that scares so many people, that they're just terrified they'll forget to water. But that's wonderful.
It's a fear, and my kids are they're just delighted to see this little symbol. It's a red watering can symbol, and it pops down, and they can see it popping down. Yeah, it's very good.
Clever. No, that's wonderful. Are they heavy, Graham? So would you need to take that into account where you're hanging them?
Yeah, absolutely. But the fixings come with them.
Okay.
So they're each fixing is related to the weight of the unit, including all the water. It's about 13 litres of water within this particular frame.
Yes.
But again, it's and the plants seem to love them. I mean, absolutely. I mean, they have this. The root system on the plant actually doesn't grow any further because it has established a water connection. So they don't get pot bound. They don't get root bound. They just stay, and it is fascinating. And also you can get the inner liners, and have a different look if you want to just change it up from season to season. you can do
Lovely.
that also. Yeah, it's
That's
fantastic.
great. Okay, so so many
Yeah,
options there. That's
yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, I didn't
The
know. I
products
did.
are nearly ahead of the supply at the moment. There's so
Yeah,
many
yeah,
different
yeah,
products available that,
yeah.
so many options for people that, will hopefully on our new website, when people start
Hmm.
looking, they'll see there's so many options available now for
That's
plants
fantastic. Yeah,
within your
no,
home.
terrific. And I guess, because it is a concern if you're tight on space and, I guess some of the larger plants can be a bit intimidating for people. They're worried
Yeah,
that, because it's an investment, I guess, but something
yeah,
like that is
true.
such a lovely way just to ease yourself into plant parenthood and see how you
Yeah,
get on. And that's
yeah,
fantastic. Really lovely.
yeah,
And I might just share then, there was some lovely images you sent, but so if people, this is actually a project we did a couple of years ago, but it was a living wall in a small courtyard. So again, this was
yeah, fantastic.
really trying to get as much natural light in, but then connect, no matter where you were in the house, trying to connect with nature at all times. So for something like this, like, can you chat through what people would need to take into account if this is something that they would like to do?
Well, firstly, it's indoor or outdoor. That's the first question.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a couple of different, we have 4 or 5 different systems
Hmm.
for green walls, and they literally can be put anywhere. At this point, it's moved on so much that we just have to chat with the client, but literally anywhere they want a green wall, it's possible at this stage.
Really? Okay.
They've overcome all obstacles, so it's just a matter of which system works best. But
Okay.
again, lighting is important.
Mm.
The choice of plants is important.
Hmm.
And whether they're connected to a water supply, some of them don't need to be connected to a water supply, some of them do.
Hmm.
And then, if it's outdoor, it's not a problem because if there's a leak, the water will run away. But most of the systems we have are guaranteed not to leak. Also, even the ones that do not require a water system.
Hmm.
But light is important in
Okay.
relation to where exactly they're going to put them because you can enhance the light with artificial lighting also. And
Okay. Yeah.
again, to light a living wall is a lovely feature. Like in your instance, then that courtyard, if that was lit, I'm sure it's lit at night time,
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which just looks, it's just brings another
Beautiful.
element of
Yeah.
outdoor in.
Yeah. 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 No, really, really lovely. And what about depth then, Graham? Like, how much space do people need? Say they're putting it in a narrow space or whatever. What kind of allowance
Yeah,
would they need?
again, there's different depths within the system, but most of them are generally the same. You don't need a huge amount of space. They're quite
Okay.
compact.
Yeah.
Everything is modular, so it can be changed around quite a bit. But
Yeah.
again, there's years ago they were quite chunky.
Hmm.
Uh, some of the living walls were quite chunky, but now it's been streamlined quite a bit. So
Really?
again,
Okay.
which
Okay.
we would always advise people that if they're looking for a green wall, that first off they might send us a picture and give us some of their ideas and thoughts. We can chat through and give
Hmm.
them some positives and where what we can do to help them. And then if they want us to call out for a consultation again, we like it's good to see the space. It's good to get a feel for where
Hmm.
it's going for. But again, we like there's some of the green walls that are going are cladding buildings around the world. I mean, there's absolutely some of the manufacturers of the products. There is absolutely no way. There's no instant that it won't work for people. We have solutions for almost everything.
That's fantastic. And then you
Yeah,
guys do the installation as well. So it literally
yeah.
is sort of one-stop shop. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah,
So
great. Great.
we're the plant industry for too long now, a long time.
Yeah.
So the products have been coming to us over the years, and now it seems that the market is ready for us.
Okay. Yeah.
The home
Yeah.
market, the commercial market, people are looking
Sure.
for these items.
Hmm.
So we just got to get out there and plants, give people more plants. Plants make people happy. We hope to
Hmm.
make a lot of people happy.
No, that's fantastic. And definitely, and I think the amount of people that have invested in plants, that just have
Yeah,
been chatting to us, because we've done a couple on gardens and plants and things over the last few months. But it's such a lovely thing to spark an interest in, and a really rewarding pastime to look after plants. So yeah, it's
it is.
fantastic.
And again, you mentioned it a few times there. People sometimes have a fear of killing plants and they get a bit nervous about it. But ultimately, plants are quite simple. You follow the instructions.
Hmm.
Once they're placed in the right position and they're
Hmm.
watered, and most people kind of the kill plants by overwatering. So it's kind of underwater to a
Hmm.
degree,
Hmm.
and there's a simple process. Sometimes as well, but people purchase plants in places that the plants might have been cold or something, the plants might have already be in trouble before they got them, and then they blame themselves.
Okay.
So if you've killed a plant before, give it another go. You'll get it right, and we're here to help.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I found myself even plants that I thought were gone, and just repotting them into a bigger pot, that they actually were just, they'd outgrown the pot, and you know, they've a whole new lease of life. So yeah, I think it's trial and error, isn't it? Really,
it is trial and error, and there's an element of fun once you get over the fear, as you said from the start. Once you get over the fear, you can have some fun. But there's so many options in houseplants again, you know, within your home. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you guys, you sell a lot of plants as well. So it's not just the living walls that you do.
Yeah.
There's a whole range of plants that you supply too, and from large to small. Am I right there? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So for years, again, we've been mostly commercial, but we're now directing ourselves as well also to residential. We have a full range of a new online shop, which is being launched next week. It's actually, I think, live officially now, but it'll be launched next week.
Great.
But there'll be more and more products uploaded onto this site over the next few months. And, you know, there'll be plants delivered to your home. And we'd hope to give support and make sure people choose the right plants for their home. And we're here to provide them.
That's great. So people can get in touch and say, I'm looking for a plant in this space, this particular orientation, and you guys could advise them. That's great.
And from your point of view, from the design point of view, you can there's so many options in pots as well, to enhance the plant, you know, to finish off. And we like to be involved when somebody's thinking about a room or changing a room up, that we can help them and advise them in the right way.
Great. Yeah. And it is important, you know, because that used to be a really tricky thing, was trying to find a nice pot to put the plant in. So it's great that you have literally you supply everything, so you can help people finish that off. That's wonderful. And are these more, Graham, of those living pictures?
Yeah, that's the live go.
Okay.
That's the domestic. That's the live go. They come into some funky colours as well, and they're slightly lighter than the one I have behind me. Okay. So they're easily mounted. It's a really simple DIY installation.
Great.
It can be done. Okay. It can be done very easily.
Yeah.
And then we can help with the plants. But again, we also install these as well. If the client requires. And again, they can be grouped, as you see in that picture. They can be grouped and placed on the wall.
Yeah.
And again, they don't take up any floor space. Or if it was a narrow corridor where you just didn't want to put a plant, where it would take up too much space, you know, a live picture is just a great option.
No, really lovely. And there's so many different opportunities where that could look really great. And the fact that you can use it inside or outside, like I think outside it could look fantastic as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. And then you'd sent me this. So this is a much larger, it's sort of looking down on a living wall. So this is internal, is it, Graham? I think this image, or
I actually don't know if I sent you that image, but
I think
maybe somebody in the office did.
But
it looks to me like it's external as well.
Okay, yeah.
I can't really see too closely. Sorry about that, Denise.
No, that's okay. And because you do internal living wall installations then as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Internal, external. Actually, in actual fact, most of the living walls, when they were first being created by suppliers, were for internal use only. And there would have been a lot of concerns over the years with frost in relation to the pipes and bursting in the wintertime. That's all been eliminated now. So that's you know, we can go outdoor. So basically, they were internal first and crept their way outside. Now it's as you can see from going from New York, one of my favorite places that you mentioned earlier on. It's just, there's a lot of buildings that are clad with green walls now, and taking every opportunity. We've taken the space back from nature by building cities and into our environments, and now it's like giving some of our cities back to nature, going back to the biophilic design. And green walls are one of the products that are a solution for this.
Yeah, no, fantastic, amazing. So another thing then, and I suppose we have a lot of clients looking at this option, are Sedum Roofs, another great way to sort of incorporate this, and that's another thing that you guys can supply, isn't it?
Yeah, and this actually is a Moby Roof. This particular picture, it's basically come in cassettes, already planted up, already with soil, already with fertilizer and drainage elements in them, and they can be literally put together like a jigsaw. to cover a roof. This is the main product we use for Sedum Roofs. We're actually just designing one at the moment for a client, and he's looking out at his dining room out to an 80-meter back garden, but it's like an infinity. It's going to look like an infinity pool of green outside of his window. So it has a visual impact, and the more we look out windows and see these green roofs, the more it looks, like nature's back in the cities, back in our environments. But again, biodiversity. We also supply bee hotels, so you can have a bee hotel in your garden or up close in, so you can really bring nature in. Again, they have a cooling effect to the room below in the summer, and insulation in the winter. So they have massive benefits to builds, and it's some cities they've becoming part of the design process where they have to be, as the planners have instructed.
Exactly, it's a requirement.
It's going to be regulation, I'd say, in years to come.
And so this particular system, because I know there's certain build-up requirements, if you're designing a roof to incorporate a Sedum roof. So is it something that people could go and retrofit, or do you need to design the roof from the beginning to incorporate the Sedum with this system?
To optimize it should be designed from the beginning, but with this particular product, it can be retrofitted. Absolutely. It's one of the best products for retrofitting, and it's great for areas where access is tight, because they come in small crates, and they can get down narrow lanes. They can be brought up in a lift if it's a roof. So they have great possibilities for different locations.
Fantastic. Okay, that's amazing. And
so,
sorry, Graham, go ahead. Yeah.
Apologies, sorry. No, so you don't have to use all the purple wool and stuff, and for other Sedum roofs, the Moby Roof is a one-stop, again, plug-and-play solution.
Great. Wow. Okay. And what kind of price then, if people are considering this per square meter, or does it vary?
It varies quite a bit, and it also takes into the element of how we get onto the roof, how we get there, all the different process costs as well. But again, we were happy to chat, and we're happy to help people to understand costs. We get to a cost very quickly.
Yeah. Okay. So there's different options. You can work with people on their budget and stuff
absolutely.
like that. Okay. Fantastic. And the little living walls, or the living pictures behind you, what kind of price do they start at, Graham?
So at the moment we have, they're starting at 150 unplanted, and then 180 planted. That's what they start at. And then they go on up to about €1,500 for the largest one, which is a live picture 4. But again, it depends on the plants as well. Sure. But it's fantastic, because we have them in a lot of locations now for a good few, for over a year in some instances, and the plants are just thriving in them.
Yeah. No, that's great.
It's great to see.
It's fantastic. And I just think what's really, really great about you guys is that you will advise on the kind of plants depending on the location that people are putting them in. Because I've done that myself. I bought a plant that I absolutely love and put it in the wrong place entirely, and the poor thing just struggles, So that is really important, I think, for people to understand what plants are going to thrive in what situations. So I think that's
and it's generally quite simple advice. It's generally quite simple advice. And so, we were happy even if we've sold the plant. So we're taking our planting experience and giving it to the residential sector, and we're happy to chat and help people, because interior plants are ultimately exterior plants in an interior location. Somewhere else in the world, they're external, where the weather is different. So it's making your own environment suitable for a plant, and choose a plant that's suitable for your environment.
Fantastic. No, that's wonderful. Great. And Graham, do you guys have a showroom where people can visit, or is it online?
It's all online, but I'm sitting actually currently in the showroom, which we've built recently, because we've had a lot of requests for people wanted to actually come and touch and feel and see some stuff, and we're happy to do that too. It's by appointment at the moment, but we hope to open it at the weekends as demand increases. But we've got a lot of different in front of me. I've got a lot of different plants, small, large, or whatever, and we literally can do plants any size, and pots any size. We have a massive range. I think we've a range available to us in excess of 25,000 pots, and so we import directly from growers within Holland and Denmark and Belgium.
Great. And if, let's say, somebody saw a particular plant that they really liked, could you source that for them then
Yeah,
if they came through
absolutely.
the picture?
Yeah,
That's fantastic
absolutely.
as well. Yeah, that's great.
External or internal.
Okay, wonderful. That's fantastic. Well, Graham, listen, thank you so much. That's been absolutely fascinating to hear about. And I'm going to go myself now and have a good look at the website and explore, because there's just so many fabulous products that I didn't know about either. So thank you so much for
Yeah, and
that. Wonderful.
there's more to come. It's
Yeah,
great
great.
talking to you.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Take care.
Okay, bye now.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye bye.